Hey, everybody. So, welcome. I'm Brandy Joy with Brandy Joy TV here talking about the week of June 20th, 2018. We are now at the summer solstice, right? So, in a few hours, the summer solstice will be happening where we go into Cancer. The sun goes into Cancer for us, and it's just going to be an interesting weekend. You're probably already feeling like a lot of stuff going on in the mind, like a lot of thinking, a lot of like, I need to self-nurture, right? So what I'm doing this time is I'm actually going to use the cards to describe the planetary energies. So for those of you on my Facebook, you know, I already did this tonight, and I liked it. I thought it went really well, so I'm going to do it on here as well. Okay, so first thing I want to talk about is that Venus is hitting the North Node, is conjuncting the North Node right now. So it's really spurring people to think about their health and think about like nurturing the body and how do I take care of myself and what do I want in my life in terms of what am I attracted to really? You know, it's not a high passion. It's more just like a more nurturing type of energy going on in terms of where you want to go in life. Okay. And then we have a very nice trine between the sun and Uranus. Actually, you know what? I totally didn't pull up the tarot card for this yet, but I am going to do that because this is so good. You're going to see this so clearly when I pull this card up. You're going to know what I'm talking about. All right. So for those of you that read the tarot, you know that the Tower card represents Uranus. Okay. So the Tower card is surprises and shocks. And with this energy right now, and the sun with Uranus, this should be really good actually and not bad this time. Because a lot of times when we think of Uranus, we think of, oh my God, it's going to make something crazy happen. It's going to give me a big shock. But fortunately for us, it is trining Uranus. Okay. So the sun is trining Uranus right now. So this is actually an harmonious aspect. I do know some people love the Tower card. It scares the hell out of me because I'm like, oh no, what's going to happen? But you know, whatever is going to happen is supposed to happen. So this is shocks and surprises and things that you think are there. It's like, wow, what the hell was that? And so Uranus is trining a nice aspect to the sun, which means good surprises this week for a lot of people. So you might be experiencing some really nice surprises this week. So this is awesome, right? This is good. Good surprises, happiness and surprises. Woohoo. All right, so not so bad. And then we have tomorrow, as the sun goes into Cancer, happy summer solstice, we actually have the moon squaring the sun. So let's pull up the moon squaring the sun. All right. So this is representing the moon card, and then we have the sun card, and they're squaring right now. So this is like your intuition and your consciousness on what you want and everything. They're squaring, so they're in harsh aspect. So it's almost like you're second guessing yourself a whole lot right now. Now, when they're in square, they create like a crisis in your intuition. And it's like, okay, like I can see that, but am I really seeing that? I don't know if I want to see that. I don't know if that's now, maybe we should just think about it again. Maybe I need to meditate a little bit harder. Right. So these two are squaring each other in the sky. And so your intuition, the card of intuition, the high priestess, along with the sun, ego consciousness are like in a weird opposition. So they're not opposition, they're in a weird square. So it's not the best time to be like, oh yes, whatever I'm feeling, I trust. It's more like, am I feeling that? Like, why am I feeling that? Let's think about this. Like, right. So that's in a weird aspect. But we do have Venus and Mars in opposition. Okay. So Venus and Mars are in opposition. Hey, I see somebody on, but I don't know who you are. Hi there. Okay. So Venus and Mars are in opposition. Now, Mars is like assertive, aggressive, passionate, fiery, spontaneous energy, right? This is your power. This is making decisions. And then we have the Empress, which is more like a grounded, nurturing, Mother Nature type of energy, healing, fertility, having babies and doing massages and eating good food and of the earth and vegetables. And then these two are like opposing each other. So mom and dad are fighting, right? So these two are giving a lot of tension in terms of like nurturing and then power and desire and passion. So they're just like harshly aspecting each other, which actually leads to a lot of questioning about what we want in life. And so this week is a very tense week in terms of what do I want? Trying to make decisions, trying to decide how does this one play with this one well, right? This one's so nurturing and this one's so fiery. Like, how can we get them to like come together and give us what we want in life? Right? What do I want in terms of groundedness versus my power and my passion? And so you're kind of trying to, it's like a dialectical tension in the brain. It's kind of like, okay, let's try to figure out how we can play well together because right now we're pulling each other apart. Okay, so this is a lot of passion, a lot of just questioning, and a lot of, so like it could be passions between people, a lot of tense attractions, a lot of tense even fighting, just weirdness going on in terms of intensity and passions, and also a lot of questioning. Okay, so that would be the Venus opposite Mars aspect. And then we have Jupiter also coming into play as well with these two. So Jupiter is about expanding things and growing and creating luck and growth and big stuff. It kind of blows everything up, but it doesn't blow it to pieces. It just kind of makes it grow. So it's making these energies grow. So this week, I'm telling you, is a week of questioning, a week of feeling like, oh my God, like I need to make some decisions, but I can't make decisions. You know, it's like one of those weeks. It's like, it's just feeling like you're not quite, you know, ready for the decision. Okay, so this weekend, we have Mercury opposing Pluto. Okay, so Mercury is represented by the Magician card, and the Pluto is represented by the Death card. This is a Scorpio card, Death, transformation. So these are actually in opposition as well this week, which is more questioning, more trying to figure out your decisions. So it's like, it's also similar in terms of what it's doing for you. It's like it's planting the seeds and foreshadowing July, because July is going to be the eclipse energies and the Jupiter moving forward direct on July 10th, July 13th, and the 27th. We have the eclipses. It's going to be letting go of things, transitioning, changing. We have so much going on in July that this is like a foreshadowing of the conversations that are happening as we go into that. So this card here, the Death card, is about, you know, what do we need to change about our perspectives and our thoughts to make things happen better. Okay. So this is spurring you to change your perspective and to think about things and to make different choices and decisions. So this is a very harsh aspect, and it's just a brief aspect this week that just says, hey, really think about what you want, because whatever you're thinking about is what's going to be changing in July. So this is like a lot of pressure. Okay. So with the Death card, it's like pressures, especially on the mind, mental card, on, you know, making those decisions. So right now you're probably feeling a whole lot of pressure with the Mercury, and that will be hitting us directly on Saturday. So this will be at a high on Saturday. So in terms of making changes, making decisions, you're going to feel a lot of pressure on Saturday for that. And that will create that seed that will needs to be planted for the big changes to come in July that we're going to be experiencing. Now, we also have Chiron in harsh aspect to the sun. So Chiron, I'm actually using the Hermit card to represent Chiron. So Chiron is the wounded healer. Chiron represents a part of yourself that you tend to ignore, but it's a part that you can use really well. So a lot of times, whatever Chiron is in your chart, it's like, oh, like I can help people in this area, but I can't help myself there, right? So that's why I'm using the Hermit here, because the Hermit is about healing yourself, but having to go really deep within to figure that shit out, right? So we have the Hermit squaring the sun. So this is going to go on this weekend as well. Okay, so this means if we have this square between your healer and the sun and your happiness and your consciousness, this is a harsh aspect. So it's like the Hermit is crossing the sun here. And so it's saying, okay, you know, what do you need to do for yourself to plant the seeds, right? This is really big in terms of vulnerability. So you're going to feel really vulnerable this weekend, probably if this aspect is really hitting your chart in a direct way. You're going to feel very vulnerable, have a lot of self-doubt, just feel like you want to go within and you don't want to deal with things. Some people might even feel like they need to prove themselves to other people so they feel better about themselves on the inside. So this will be like a lot of self-doubt and stuff for some people over the weekend, depending on, again, where it's hitting your chart. If it's a direct aspect for you, then it will be very extreme. If it's not a direct aspect, then you won't feel it as much. But this is like vulnerability, self-doubts, icky feelings about like healing and what you need to do to really put yourself on your right life path. It's like ego healing crisis mode. Okay, so that'll be this weekend. And then next week on Tuesday, we actually have Mars stationing and going retrograde. So that's going to be a stormy week next week. So if you do watch my tarot pick a card on Monday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern, please join me then, because it is going to be a stormy week next week. And I'm sure you will want a little bit of advice as you go into it with Mars stationing. And so Mars is, again, you remember when I was telling you earlier about like power and passion and drive and just assertiveness and how you're like asserting yourself in the world and making decisions and all that good stuff. It's going to be stationing next week as we enter the eclipse energies. All right. So happy summer solstice again. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. Hi there. Yeah, lots of retrograding. We actually have Neptune retrograding right now, and that's aspecting Jupiter in a nice way, which is like about expanding your dreams and really just feeling like, yeah, I think I can do this. It's actually a good energy for that kind of thing. It's a lot of reflection and intuition on like what you want to do to grow. So there's just so many aspects going on right now as we enter this big change season, So this is the time to plant seeds and to figure things out. So definitely do some meditation work with its Chiron aspect this weekend, and you might not really feel like going out too much this weekend. It's possible with these energies. I know I've been super tired with these energies. I've been feeling a little tired, and that's kind of typical with some of these energies that we have. So, oh, thank you, Dee. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me. I wanted to try something different using the tarot cards for horoscope. So I think that was really fun to kind of give it a visual. So yeah, I'll see you guys Monday night for Pick a Card at 10 p.m. And if you want to join my Vibe membership, have a good weekend, and I'll see you Monday.